Hello, welcome to the review, keen eyes and people who read the title who know what this is. This is Unidentified Lifeform number 0, the first thing in Kuuga, the villain, of course, who also turned out to have the human form for child. Anywho, don't have too many Evil Rider figures, I guess. So, I mean, this is enough amount. There's more these days, but you know, based on the older stuff, there's not too many. You know, you don't have like the final Agito villain or the I guess any of the Fi's actual villains. The Riders are coming out, but not the villains, whatever. Anyway, another Time Machine Bug exclusive. Got this for relatively cheap because this one's quite an old figure as well. Maybe not too many people want this, but you know, it's brand new, not second hand and anything. Anyway, so that comes with the cardboard box. All the Time Machine Bug exclusives come with these cardboard sort of delivery boxes. Says delivery box for protection and stuff. I don't know why they don't do that with normal releases. I guess that boosts the price up, but don't see why the online web wants to need this box for protection. Because for collectors who like to keep the box in pristine condition or never open their figures, are gonna love these cardboard boxes. But they want that for normal releases as well. Anyway, so this is Figuarts in the name right there. Says item. Transport protection case. I can't read the line underneath. Nothing on behind, just some sticker of the seller, some numbers for him. Just, you know, knows what he's marking down in this accounting book. There's always tape on here, which has already been cut open because in the shop you gotta. Remember, when you buy these in the shop, you gotta. The sellers know what to do. Normally, they'll say, "Do you want to make sure and check this item and open it for you?" Because once you leave the store, that's that. If there's anything broken, it's not the seller's problem. Oh, I guess the number's problem thing as well. So you gotta make sure that you check it before you leave the store. Double check, triple check, quadruple check. If you're not buying from things like Toys R Us, which is a rip-off in Hong Kong, you gotta triple check or quadruple check. You're never checking too much unless you're there for like 10 hours. Photo of. Yeah, for the actual suits in the corner, because generic black and white stuff. It always seems a bit weird. Like sometimes Time Machine Bug exclusive, you got the window box, like just like all the normal releases, and sometimes you have the full cardboard box that covers everything inside. I like these boxes more because not everyone keeps the cardboard protection box, so when you put this, if you want to put this on display, it's nicer. You can see the figure inside. Some people who don't open boxes like to just display these like this. So if you have a full cardboard box, they can't display the figure in a way. So yeah, pretty cool. As it figures, it's a new standard figure series that incorporates a banner action figure art and the theme pursuing character expression through humanoid action. Wow, that was perfect. I've read that so many times. And Daguva Zeba, I think. May Kot Ying Something Tai Leng Ho. That's the Chinese name for him. Yep, that's his name again, and because not a Hong Kong release, so no sticker. Box seems thicker than the usual ones. Focus. There you go. Yeah, the same sticker there, so I'm gonna assume that sticker's for Bandai. Simple style and then heroic action. Well, yeah, but except he's not a hero, so villainous action. So, yeah, open the box up. Time Machine Web site there. This one was released in 2010, so 4 years now almost, depending on, you know, what month it was released in. Instructions booklet. I'll take a photo of that, but it's not too much about this because it's just swapping hands with this guy. And because there's some QR code there, so you can take that. By the way, you can check out photos on Facebook, which I'll be uploading them there on the Kuuga and Agito album, so you can check that out if you want a longer look or clear look at the box art and instructions manual. And the gear code is going to go in 3, 2, 1. Box out the way. Yep, very old SH Figuarts style packaging where the top tray goes all the way down. So pop, 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 pop. 4 corners easily pop off, nothing jumps out because the box is done pretty well with this guy. Changing the camera angle. Move. And move on to the accessories. So spray open hands by default. This is the first Kamen Rider related figure I've seen do that. So that's different. He's like, I'm a Sailor Moon, I don't have fists on my packaging. So the fists are there. Relaxed hands are there, and these hands are the I'm gonna burn you like hands. So you can call them tit grabbing hands. Excuse me. He's got a lot of protection on him. Got all these plastic sheets, so protecting the cape, of course. You got one behind his head hair, and you got this other sheet that goes underneath between the cape, because the cape's pretty awesome. Just by holding this right now, it feels like the Ultimate Form figure. It's got that plastic feel to it, and he's bloody tall. So changing the camera angle back, gonna look at the articulation. So much armor going on. By the way, all these are pretty soft plastics, so it's pretty good. Ooh, the cape's pretty loose. Loosey. Okay, so head articulation, you got rotating, but the sort of armor gets in the way. Look up, kinda. Look down, kinda. Sideways, sideways. So the those down the SH Figuarts, there's a double neck joint thing going on. There's a ball joint at the top and a ball joint at the bottom of the neck, which gives you more movement. Shoulder pads are hooked onto the shoulders. So shoulders gonna go up. There is rotating, full 360-degree spin, but it gets a bit tight, and this, like, his elbow arm gets in the way. Elbow horn. Double elbow joint. Hand is on the ball peg that's on this double swivel, so quite a lot of movement there. Down out the way. The cape is just soft plastic. There's a piece on the back that pushes it up, but it's not a peg. You can see that there, right there. So it just pushes it up. I guess that can be a problem for some if they decide to have him take the cape off. Tramp stamp right there. But the front of the cape is okay. The front is glued on pretty tight and pegged in. I'm gonna double check that. Yeah, the front is definitely good. The peg is glued down, but you can probably remove the glue and remove the cape entirely. That's up to you to decide. I don't take any responsibility for you damaging the figure. His little skirt piece is completely loose on the body. It's not connected to the hip, so it can give more movement space. Top torso joint and bottom torso joint, so they've got 2 ball pegs there, so a lot of movement again. Pretty cool. Leg is on. Oh, leg is not like any of the other Kuuga figures. It's on one of the newer joints where the leg can come down a little bit and go up a little bit. So you got that up, down. Very easy to move, but a bit loose, I guess. Up, double knee joint, down. It's like Terminator. Leg up, leg down. Feet is not die-cast metal. Doesn't make sense for it to be in a way. Toes are supposed to move, but they seem a bit stiff. But there you go, they can move. Oh, and move down like. Ooh, the water's cold. Ding. Ooh. Sorry. Yeah, leg is on a full swivel, can move down a little bit, move up. It is supposed to be on a ball joint and there's a swivel inside, but because of the shin armor, a lot of it gets in the way, but it seems to move okay. It's on the, yeah, it's pretty, I think it's on a ball joint. Horns on his legs are also relatively soft plastic. They are pointy and can prick a little, but they're not the soft plastic. So the horns on the head, so don't worry too much. The only pointy bits I would worry a little bit are the shoulder pads. So yeah, that's the articulation. Overall, plastic injection is pretty good. Coloring is pretty much spot on. You put a correct colored joints and all that. Articulation wise might seem a bit limited because of this bulky armor, but that's again is the fault of the suit and not of the figure itself. So this figure can pretty much replicate all the movements done by this character in the show. This figure looks absolutely stunning for me, and I am a big Kuuga fan, so I'm going to be a bit biased there. That I really like this figure. It's not often you get too many sort of villain SH Figuarts of the previous lines. It's always the main heroes and all that. Lately you've been getting Greeds because they have their own characters. You got Shadow Moon because, you know, he has his own character. But in the past, the villains are usually just sort of one note, and people tend to forget about them. The only other way is that you can get certain figures at the same scale like this, but I think they're soft final figures. So you know, if you want articulation on that, you're not going to get it. But these days you're starting to get more. Like in Wizard, you've got the Zodiacs and Fours. You got the some of the Phantoms and Wizard, but you know, in the past the figures are hard to get, so it's good that we got one of the older villains from one of the older shows. Eventually we did get like people like Apollo Geist and all that, but we haven't got like the Shocker leader or anything. So yeah, or the Destron leader from 3-3. This figure's nice. He's not too pricey. He does cost more than regular Figuarts, but not too much more. That's important. You know, he's Tamashii World exclusive. If you're a Kuuga fan, then you're gonna want to get this before it gets expensive. If you're just passing through a Rider fan, then this isn't really a figure for you. Depends really if you like this sort of like really hard armor style, sort of a skeleton structure with gold, very warrior-like figure. In fact, you can even pass this off as a good character if on certain videos if people don't know who this guy is, because of the white armor and all that, which is it's a really cool thing. Like the hero is wearing black armor and the villains in the white, and villains even on the left-hand side. So. Which is usually where the good guy is in terms of filmography. Good guys are usually on the left on the poster, and they usually come in on the left, and they're usually wearing white. And there's on the right hand side wearing black is usually the villain. So sort of swap that around for funsies in the show, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, solid figure, good for posing, very durable. Nothing fragile, lots of details going on, especially on his sort of the Gurangi and stuff on his cloak and his cape and waist and hip sort of cloth robes and such. Yeah, very detailed, very nicely sculpted, nicely painted. It's just overall a really nice figure. Even if you're not a Kuuga fan, you gotta look at this and think this is a pretty good representation of the show's suit. So yeah. Pretty much for yeah, Kuuga fans, if you're just collecting main riders, this probably isn't for you. However, some people might want, you know, the riders to have someone to battle with on display. So he's one of the more sort of older villains that you might want to get. You know, for people who are not collecting every single villain but want, you know, villains throughout history of Kamen Rider might want to pick this up. But like I said, it does cost more than just slightly more than usual SH Figuart prices, but it only costs a little bit more than Shadow Moon and Black, but because he's quite an old figure now, so I imagine the original price when he first came out wasn't that high. So yeah, if you like this character, if you like Kuuga, pick him up. If you don't really care for Kuuga, then you can probably skip this one. Not an essential, which is pretty much why it was a Tamashii World exclusive. Pretty much like Growing Form. You're only gonna, well, he's better than Growing Form. He's better than Mighty Form. Like if you're just gonna get, if you're only gonna get a few Kuuga figures, I recommend getting Amazing Mighty, Ultimate Form, and this guy. And you know the rest you can probably skip if you're not a big Kuuga fan. So subscribe to just a comment below, and guys, take care and have a nice day, and check out Facebook photos and such. Bye.